I don't. I really enjoy the freedom that we have as a high schooler and the fact that we get to make our own decisions.
I miss it sometimes because I miss being the highest grade, but being a freshman is not that bad.
I occasionally miss being in middle school because it's really easy and I miss some of the teachers, but overall I've really enjoyed high school, and so I'm not like, oh, I wish I was still in middle school, because it's just an awkward phase for everyone.
Freedom surprised me because there's just a lot more than high school than there is in middle school.
There's a lot more freedom, but you're not just let loose. There's remediation lists and a lot of rules in place to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do.
The fact that you do have greater responsibility and it's your own job to make sure that you get what you need to get done.
Probably finding your way around the school and like stressing about a lot of like all your schoolwork, and it's all new, so you have to just kind of transition into going into high school.
Definitely time management. In middle school, I could have football practice or basketball practice and still have a lot of time to get my homework done. But if you let yourself get behind at all in high school, you're going to be struggling for a couple weeks, so you have to stay on top of everything.
Yeah, I feel like I have a little more freedom to just like, for example, like wearing headphones in the hallway, and but it's a little more responsibility.
I think I am a very different person now, both academically and socially. Academically, I've really buckled down to study more for tests and to improve my grades, because those are very important in your future. And socially, I've made so many more friends in my classes and here at high school.
Yes, because I now turn in my work on time and I don't procrastinate. And also socially, I've made more friends and came out of my shell a lot.
Some of them you stay friends with, but a lot of people go on like their own ways and will be involved in sports and clubs, and everyone kind of splits off, but you're still friends with them. Social circle has expanded because since you're in a bigger school with so many different people in classes, you meet a lot more people than you do in middle school.
The teachers are pretty nice, they're pretty laid back, but just make sure you do your work, otherwise they will get on to you about it.
You get a totally wide variety. I mean, you're going to have teachers you don't like, you're going to have teachers that you really like, but it's different because you can meet some teachers that will end up being some of your best friends and people who really support you, and you're going to get some teachers that you really don't want to go to their class every day because you just don't like them. So it's just, you meet everyone, but all the teachers at Summit are great people.
I like that I can be in so many different clubs. I'm in like 6 of them, and it's just fun to be a part of like many different things. So.
Being in high school, I like the lunches because it's like an hour long, and I like football games, basketball games. Homecoming week's really fun, and they have a lot of clubs you're allowed to join.
The workload is really hard, just managing everything from friends to the homework to studying, and just, I don't know, it's a lot.
The hardest part for me is probably just getting into a routine, kind of like getting the gist of things, getting your homework schedule together, and so on.
It's definitely a lot more, and it depends on what class you're taking, because I'm in all AP and honors, so I have anywhere from 1 to 5, but if you take more standard classes, you can have maybe like 1 to 2.
I usually have around 4 hours of homework a night, but sometimes I'll only have 1, so it just varies. It helps with your grades. It helps you understand the topic, and it allows you to retake, which is very important, and it just helps your GPA a lot.
I do my homework because of practice. I'm not good at math, and I know that if you don't do your homework, you're not going to do well in class, and so doing your homework is really important.
I do my homework because even if I don't want to do it, you're going to have to do it at some point, and it's just not worth a detention or remediation. So.
One of my senior friends, he said it's the worst thing that can possibly happen in high school.
I have had friends that have to do credit recovery and they've hated it. It's a big pain. Once you fail that class, you have to work so much harder to make up that class and learn the material.
I take honors because I wanted more of a challenge than I did in middle school, and there's more homework, but it's easier.
I take all honors in AP. I take one AP class, and I take them because whenever it gets to be your senior year, you want as much credits as you can because you want scholarships and everything, and it can set you up for the future.
Everyone eats together at lunch, and I like it because you can go to your club and hang out with friends, and you have a whole hour period to eat lunch.
I like how our lunch works. Every grade eats together at the same time. The upperclassmen usually eat in the cafeteria, and the underclassmen usually eat anywhere on the bottom floor, and during lunch you can go get help from the teachers.
Most freshmen are treated pretty nicely. The upperclassmen understand where you're coming from and that you're just new and kind of getting used to things, so they're kind to you and they'll give you some leeway if you're slow in the halls or still trying to get to class and stuff. They even have groups that will set up, like my senior sister, where you can be friends with seniors and freshmen so that you can get adjusted and make friends.
I believe they're treated very well. Freshmen get a bad rap for being bullied or for being the little kids of high school, but there's so many resources for freshmen to use, including the link crew and the freshman counselor, to help them transition into high school.
There's this whole stigma about freshmen, like I'm sure at pep rallies as a freshman, you're probably going to get booed a lot. People are going to make jokes about how much they hate the freshmen, but in all honesty, if you went up to a senior and you genuinely needed help for something, they're going to be there for you. Our school's a family. Something happens, we're all in it together. So even though there is that kind of anti-freshman thing going around, it's all kind of just for fun. And you know, me personally, I know most people in my class will definitely be supportive of the freshmen when we can.
Make good work habits now because it's important. And when you get into high school, there's no time to change up anything, I guess. So just start now so you don't cry later.
Advice I want to give middle school students is that you should really start studying because usually you can just kind of pass by without studying, but now you really have to study or you're not going to pass.
Okay, so not everyone is going to like you, but that's totally fine. You just have to be nice and outgoing and just try and do your best, but don't let what other people say about you or how you're doing in one little area affect the rest of you, because it literally is just high school. So the drama on a Tuesday is not going to matter on Friday. So a bad hair day or a bad test grade is not the end of the world, so don't let it affect you.
Participate, get involved in stuff. You know, if you've always wanted to play a sport, now's the time. If you even have an interest in theater, choir, get involved. Any kind of clubs, there's so many clubs and stuff you can get involved in. And even things like pep rallies, if you don't participate, they can be really boring and lame, but when everybody gets involved, those are the times we have a lot of fun. So just get involved.